in today's episode, we are going to be talking about one of the most visible signs of aging, and that is wrinkles, okay? So, the skincare industry is a huge, huge business, and if you're female, or maybe even a male, if you're into taking care of your skin, I know a lot of males are, which is good. It's just very overwhelming, right? Just to understand how to take care of your skin and how to prevent wrinkles and really how to reduce that sagging skin that, most of us want to avoid. So in today's show, we're going to talk about a lot about how to reduce those signs of aging. So I want you to grab your SPF, grab your dumbbells, and your sense of humor, because we're going to have a great show today.
Embark on a journey to defy time with LMAO, Laughing My Age Off podcast. I'm your host, Erica Kelly, and I started this show because, like you, I'm curious about the secrets to staying youthful as the years go by. Join me as we discover the secrets to slowing down the aging process, exploring expert insights, cutting-edge research, and personal experiences that uncover the art of aging gracefully. It's time to laugh, learn, and embrace a life full of vitality together.
Welcome back to the show. So, if you are listening to this podcast, please note that I am starting to broadcast these on YouTube, so you will be able to see the show as well. So in this case, we're actually making this a working show. Since it is about wrinkles, I want to share with you my skincare routine, and I definitely need it. It's already in the evening, and my skin definitely needs some of the things that I usually do on a daily basis. So we're going to start off with a face mask here, and I'm going to go ahead and put on this headband. Give me 1 minute here to get into this headband, right? This is a peach. This used to have like a little green thing at the bottom, so now it just looks like a heart, but Gigi, of course, grabbed it, and story of my life. Gigi takes a lot of my stuff. So, all right. So we've got the hair out of the face. Those of you who are just listening, I use a face mask called Gleeman. This is not sponsored by the show by any means. I don't think any of my stuff is sponsored by the show today. So just know this is stuff that I really, really like. This is called Gleeman, and it's a vitamin C clay mask that I'm about to put on. And those of you watching the show, you could see it's just like this nice clay. It really it's one of the only masks that I've used, and I've tried so many, that really gives you that glow. Okay. And I think it is called Glow Vitamin C Clay Mask. Okay. So, and they give you this nice little paintbrush, because that's what we're doing. We're painting. I don't want to get on my microphone. So I'm just painting my face with this clay mask, and what's in this clay mask that I love for my skin, you got to be careful underneath the eyes. And if you're over 40, definitely got to watch underneath the eyes. We lose a lot of collagen in that area. But this face mask is a clay mask, right? So this is going to detox my skin. And I like to do this at least once a week, okay, minimum. And it's got a yellow tint to it, and that is the turmeric. I love turmeric. Turmeric is a supplement that I actually take for the skin as well. All right, so we're just getting the clay mask on the cheeks. We got to get the forehead. Yup. And some people, have wrinkles in different areas, which we'll talk about. Look at yourself in the mirror. Some people are prone to like the crow's feet, or the lines by the forehead. I think they call them the eights. Oops, I'm getting my forehead or my eyebrows here. can't get this. It's hard to, those of you who are not watching, it's very hard to paint and look at yourself on a laptop because everything seems like to be a little not in the direction you think it is. Okay. I'm missing some spots here. Anywhere else? I don't know why I got my eyebrow there. Okay. So onto the podcast. A glow mask is now on, activated. And we're just going to put that aside. So now I just look fantastic for those of you who are just listening. So we are just going to put that aside. And then let's talk about the cause of wrinkles. Okay, what do you think causes wrinkles? It's not just one thing, right? There are a number of various factors that can contribute to wrinkles. Number one, I think one of the most obvious ones is sun, UV light, overexposure to that. There's also lifestyle decisions such as smoking, drinking excessively, not working out. And of course, as you get older, we lose collagen. So just the years of your life contributes to wrinkles, but there are so many things that you can do, like the clay mask, that can help slow down these wrinkles, okay? And we're going to talk about 4 major topics today within this topic of wrinkles, okay? Number 1 is working out. Believe it or not, have you ever thought about wrinkles and the connection to whether you work out or not? We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about hydration, right? There's nothing worse than creepy old skin, dry skin. And number 3, sleep. Okay, we're going to talk about some other things that go with sleep. All right, so you'll have to wait for that. And the last and most important one is nutrition. Okay, there's probably more factors to wrinkles, but these are the 4 that I particularly pay attention to the most. Okay, so let's talk about working out. First of all, do you work out on a regular basis? Okay, because we have a study. Okay, we have a study, my friends. A study, and it seems like a lot of the studies that I'm finding are in Asia. This one is from Ritsumeikan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Ritsumeikan University in Kyoto, Japan. Okay. So they conducted a study with the topic of exercising and the connection to wrinkles. All right. So what they did was they had a study of 56 participants. Okay. And all sedentary Japanese women aged between 41 and 59 is that group that they used. Okay. They were sedentary. They were Japanese between the ages of 41 and 59. And so they took these women, they did 2 30-minute workouts a week for a 16-week period. 27 of those individuals were given aerobic exercises, while 34 of the other participants were given, guess what? Resistance training exercises. So each session was also supervised by a personal trainer. So it's not like they went, put them in a group and they're like, all right, go do your workout. No, they were all apparently supervised. So what type of exercise do you think the aerobic group did? Okay, so what they did is they did electric bike. And while the resistance group, they did sets on leg curls, they did leg extensions, arm curls, rowing, shoulder presses, and chest press machines. So sounds like a little circuit there that they're doing. And so after that 16-week period, they decided to check to see how their skin was, all right? So the women's skin elasticity, their dermal thickness, and skin tone were measured before the first workout and then within a week of their final one, right? So that's what they were measuring. They even took blood samples before and after to evaluate the blood composition after the 16 weeks. So fascinating, right? They're doing all the right things to see maybe internally things are changing with even the blood. So guess what? Guess which group had a more positive effect on reducing the chances of wrinkles? Was it the aerobic exercise or the resistance training? Okay, so good news is that both groups did see increased elasticity. So that means the skin was tighter and it bounced back quicker after stretching. Okay, so I can't pull my skin on my face, but I'm pulling my skin, right? So the bounce back is what you're looking for, because if it's sagging, right, it'll just lay there. All right, so the upper dermal structure of their skin was also denser, and the genes involved in collagen production became more active. So altogether, this is all good news, right? Both groups saw positive effects, but with the one group, which is the resistance group, actually experienced additional benefits, okay? And that benefit is a thicker dermal layer, okay? So, thicker dermal layers are associated with younger skin. Think about your skin when you were like 20 years old. It's like so glowing, and you don't really have to use any products, right? Because it's like still young. It's got a lot of collagen in it. So what they found was that with this study, there was an increase of specialized genes that produce proteins that are designed to strengthen the connective tissue. So what this is all saying is that there's more proteins, right, that are helping to create this thicker dermal layer of skin. Okay. So what's the lesson here? Getting exercise in general will help reduce those fine lines. And, what it all comes down to, I personally think, is your body's getting circulation, right? If your body gets circulation, gets mobility, then more things are activated in your body, okay? And in this case, with resistance training, you're doing a little bit extra. And I just believe when you're doing resistance training, you're just activating those muscles just a little bit more than if you're only doing aerobic activity. So, all right. So our skin mask is, I would say 90% dry. I still have a few patches left right here. So I guess we'll keep going, shall we? Okay, we are moving on to hydration. So I've got my Stanley here. I've only got one Stanley cup. How many Stanley cups do you have? All right, we're cheersing to that. Drinking our sip of water, so we are getting hydrated here. And so hydration. I think we all have been, taught to always drink, 8 glasses of water a day. Ever since like you're a kid, you're like, drink your water, make sure you're hydrated. And, over the years, I've read a lot of books about hydration. And one of those books is called The Water Secret. And this book really changed my way of how I think about hydration. And it's written by a doctor called, his name is Howard Murad. Dr. Murad. Let's just call him Dr. M, okay? So the book is called The Water Secret. And Dr. M, he talks about how a dehydrated cell can't function at optimal levels. And so this can lead to aging, which we all know that, right? But he thinks that healthy hydration is not just about drinking water. It's also ensuring that our cells and connective tissue not only get water, but they also, here it is, ready? They retain it. Our body needs to retain that hydration, okay? So they can function at full capacity. And so what he goes on to talk about in this book is that instead of like gulping down cups of water, throughout the day, he advises that many of us should get our water from the foods we eat, because he goes on to say that the foods we eat should be taken more seriously versus drinking water, because they are encapsulated with water. So what is he trying to say here? Well, he's saying there's a drip effect. So think about all the water you drink. Okay. When on a good day, you're like, I got my 8 cups of water in today, but I had to pee so much, right? So when you're eating your water, there's a drip effect. It gets to your cells, inside your cells, and it retains it. And then instead of you going to the bathroom, rushing to the bathroom, your body is slowly hydrated and it's keeping it there longer. Okay. So essentially, many of the nutrients that our bodies need anyway comes from the food that he suggests. So he's saying that we should, eat more cucumbers, eat more watermelon. I'm a big fan of smoothies in the morning. And I notice just naturally, I just stay hydrated throughout the day. And it's because of this book, right? I just love eating my water. I do still drink water. And this doctor goes on to say, don't eliminate water, right? But if you have the choice, really think about more foods that contain a lot of water, like, again, watermelon. So, he goes on to say there's a lot of things that we can eat. I mean, a lot of them are common sense. He goes on to say apples, there's avocados, bananas, blackberries, blueberries. We were talking about watermelon, figs, broccoli, grapefruit, grapes, kiwis, carrots, believe it or not, cauliflower, apricots. So the list goes on and on. Again, the book is called The Water Secret by Dr. Murad. And just remember this for hydration. Drinking water is great, but eating your water in combination with drinking the water is like the best equation. So Dr. M ultimately says this will improve our cellular hydration and our overall health. So my skin mask is dry. So we're going to go ahead and take it off, and I'll be right back. And now for a commercial break. So I want to ask you, when is the last time you had a great tasting protein bar that wasn't full of garbage? I want to tell you, I gave up on protein bars a while ago because of this reason. They were either 1, full of garbage, or 2, they just tasted like cardboard. Okay. So I was really surprised when I was introduced to Nugo bars. All right. So Nugo bars are bars that don't contain bad oils, no sugar alcohols, and they taste really, really good. Okay. And they have protein to boot. So I love these protein bars when I need like a quick fix, when I need something sweet that will give me some satiety. Honestly, these are really good with a little coffee in the morning. Forget the donuts, forget the coffees, just take a bite of these. And now for a limited time, if you go to nugonutrition.com/fitandpretty, that's NUGO nutrition.com/fitandpretty, FITNPRETTY, you'll get 50% off 12 bars. So normally this box is $30. You'll get this entire box of 12 bars that includes 2 dark chocolate pretzels with sea salt, 2 chocolate chip. You get 2 peanut butter cup. You get 2 mint chocolate chip, which is my favorite. You also get 2 dark mocha chocolates, and your last 2 is going to be your dark chocolate almond with sea salt. So it's limit 1 per customer. Hurry while supplies last. Okay. I said I was going to take the mask off, but I figured I could just do it here because it's part of the process. So I just have a nice damp cloth here, and we're just going to remove this beautiful mask. And I thought it'd be cool for you guys to actually see the results here and see my glow. Those of you who are just listening, you'll have to tune into YouTube. I've got half my mask coming off right now. And I really think it has to do with the turmeric. There's also aloe vera in this. Aloe vera is like one of those old traditional plants that is actually really easy to grow. I actually have some. One of the only things I'm able to grow in my backyard in a potted plant. It doesn't take much water because it's aloe. It's like, I think it waters itself, to be honest with you. And in Florida, it's great to have. Okay. So we are getting toward the forehead here. So like the skin masks that like peel off, but I haven't really found a good one. So if you have a nice skin mask that you can peel, I'm all about that, because that's the only thing I don't like about clay masks is that, I don't know, you got to wipe it off. Is it gone? Is it gone? Okay, so the mask is off, my friends. There is that glow. Okay. Next up, okay, now I try to do this routine every night, but I don't always get to, right? It's time consuming. Let's be honest here. And that's why I'm doing it during the podcast. Okay. The next thing that I'm using is glycolic acid solution. This is a toning solution. So I've noticed that this gives me a nice glow as well. And so I just use this nice little cotton pad for toning here. And I am not an esthetician. So if you come on here and say, why is she doing that? Just keep comments to yourself. That's all I gotta say. This works for me. And I've noticed huge improvements in my skin doing what I'm doing here on this show. And if you don't have a routine, I'm happy to share this one with you. So, all right. So there's my toning solution we just used. All right. And then we're going to move on to, all right, this is the fun part. And this is another part of the skincare process that has dramatically changed my skin. Okay. All this together. All right. I've got two tools that I'm holding in my hand. One of them is, called a microcurrent tool. The other is a red light tool. All right. So we're going to start off. I like to start with the microcurrent tool, and there's a few things that I use with this one. Okay. I like to use the hyaluronic acid serum. Okay. This stuff is super affordable. I actually just get this one off Amazon. All right. It's just clear, goes on. Hyaluronic acid is like one of those things that helps hold water in, and you can certainly do this without your skincare tools, but skincare tools actually make these serums more effective because they don't just sit on your face, okay? That's what she said, sit on my face. Isn't that from The Office anyway? That's what she said. Love that show, by the way. Anybody else watch The Office? I think they're the best on Instagram. They have an Instagram, or somebody's doing it for The Office. I'm not sure if it's them. All right, so we just put some hyaluronic acid serum on, and then this microcurrent tool makes these beeping sounds. It's got different levels. I always put it on the 5th level. Go big or go home, right? So what this is doing is basically, you know how you like work out every day, or at least try to work out every day, right? This is like a workout for your face, okay? So basically it's taking currents of energy and just, creating that energy in your face, right? It's almost like a mini skin lift, and you can feel it. It kind of feels like pulses of energy, and it's all safe. According to what they say, it's safe, so... I just do about 5 minutes of this a day. And usually I'm doing this I don't know, at nighttime when I'm trying to figure out my social media posts. Anybody else do that? Okay. So we're going to be moving on as I do this. Hopefully that beeping sound is not too annoying. Sounds like a video game, but you got to get right here. Yeah. right underneath the eye. And we got to be careful there. Okay. So we're moving on to nutrition, my friends. This broadcast is brought to you by Clean Crafted Wines. Ladies, are you waking up crummy because you're drinking crappy wine? Well, Clean Crafted Wines include no added sugars, low sulfites, no synthetic pesticides are used, and no fillers or colors, artificial flavors are ever added to our wines. So we know we talked about hangovers in some of our previous podcasts. Those are going to be worse as we get older. Make sure you're drinking Clean Crafted the next time you open up your bottle of wine. Our direct link can be found in our show notes, or you can find us at scoutandcellar.com/fit and pretty life. That's FITN pretty life. We'll see you soon. Bye. And this is going to keep beeping, so we're just going to beep away, okay? So, nutrition. What do you think the number one food really doesn't help with wrinkles? Begins with S. Okay? It is sugar. Sugar is just, at least, the sugar that you get from cookies, donuts, not the sugar that you get from like fruits, right? Is one of the worst things you can do for your skin. It's addictive. It sabotages the skin. So, replace sugar with, things that really give you satiety instead, right? Once you get off sugar, your body doesn't crave it as much, okay? So it's one of those addictive foods that's not good for us, and, your body really just doesn't need it. Okay, we're moving on to number 2, and I'm going to stop the microcurrent tool, and we're going to move on to our next tool here, and that is the red light. So the red light is this little magic wand, and it turns red. Red light therapy is really good for your skin. And I'm also using a vitamin C, E, and F. This one I got this from Dermatology. I really like that brand too. They have some really great serums. But the vitamin C, E, and F, those in combination are actually going to help with the support of collagen. So we're going to go ahead and put that on there. Looks like I'm crying on camera, but I'm not. So then I do this one. Did you hear the vibration? Yes, it is not a vibrator. I guess it is to a certain extent, but it's for the face. So number 2, what do you think number 2 is? Okay, so number 2 begins with an F. It's called fried food. Fried food smells so good. I love the smell of fried food. I don't eat much of it, but when I pass by like a McDonald's, that smells good. But it's not good for us, okay? So foods fried in oil at high temperatures release free radicals that can cause cellular damage to the skin. And exposure to these free radicals accelerates the aging process. And really, it's affecting the DNA molecules, and it weakens the skin elasticity. So fried food is just not good for us. I mean, that goes without saying. It does taste good. It is addictive. So anything basically that's tastes good and is addictive, just stay away from it. Okay, number 3 is, this is something that my mom, shout out to my mom, she would never let me eat when I was little, and that's white bread. We were only allowed to eat the Polish rye bread, which, that stuff molds in like 3 days, so that's how you knew it was good for you, okay? So white bread actually has is a food that has a high glycemic index. And anything with a high glycemic index spike your sugars and, supports inflammation in the body, which we don't want. And anytime you have high inflammation, that's a direct link to the aging process. So let's talk about oils, okay? And the consumption of specifically butter and margarine versus having like olive oil or avocados. So studies show that people who eat more butter, margarine actually have more skin damage than those who eat olive oil or avocados. They can impact your skin and, of course, the aging process. So forget the margarine. Go for the olive oils. All right. There's so many good olive oils out there. I went to an olive oil store the other day, and if you ever get a chance to go to one of those, they are fantastic because they have infused olive oils where they just have great flavor. So, all right, let's talk about our next one here. Number 4, processed meats. All right. So things like hot dogs, pepperoni, bacon, sausage, those are all considered processed meats that can be harmful to the skin. So these meats are high in saturated fats and sulfites, all right, which can all dehydrate the skin and weaken collagen by causing inflammation. So instead of eating these, swap processed meats for maybe eggs, or some other protein options such as chicken and turkey. Okay. So we've talked about this in previous podcasts, but the oils you put in your body. All right. Moving on to one of my favorite things to talk about. Okay. And that is dairy. I don't like dairy. I think the only time I really eat dairy is when I have a good home run in pizza. Pizza, of course, goes without saying. You need some good cheese. All right. But on a daily basis, there's many other things that you can have. All right. I know in our family, my daughter's very sensitive to dairy. So we've completely eliminated that from her diet a few years ago. Her skin was reacting poorly to it. Time out. Look at my skin, you guys. Is it glowing yet? Could use a little bit right here. So some people react to dairy poorly. Some people don't react at all, but really dairy is not necessary in the body. There's many other things you can eat besides dairy to get the nutrients that come from dairy. All right. So, you can instead eat almonds. You can eat seeds, leafy greens. So those will all help replace some of those things from dairy that you're missing. All right, moving on to our next one here is drinking alcohol excessively and as well as coffee. All right, so everything in moderation, right? We all know coffee and alcohol dehydrate the body. But, in moderation, everything's good in moderation, in my opinion. So, but if you have excessive amounts, alcohol depletes your nutrients, and particularly in vitamin A levels, which directly impacts your wrinkles. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and stop the red light therapy here. Moving on to our next nutrition tip is what I really like to do. And I'm going to actually bust this one out. If you're watching on YouTube, give me 1 second. Okay. So our final tip here is having chlorophyll and another C word. I'm combining these together because they both start with the letter C. Chlorophyll and liquid collagen. Okay. So I do this little mocktail at night, every night. This is freshly squeezed lemon juice. I have a juicer at home, and we go through probably 30 lemons a week. We drink lemon juice in the morning and at night. And for those of you who are telling me lemons are acidic, they are only acidic before your body takes it in. Okay. So once lemon juice actually enters your body, it becomes neutralized. All right. It does. Okay. So here we go. This is our mocktail. We have some lemon juice. I have some sparkling water here. Italian sparkling mineral water. Yep. From Costco. Costco's not sponsored yet. All right. Then we have, oh, I can't turn this around. Okay. Chlorophyll matcha drops. All right. This is another tip. Let me just open this up. And the thing is with these drops, my daughter uses these every night, and she just, see this? You can't see this if you're listening, but there's green all over my hands, and it just, you'll see green marks everywhere in the kitchen. It's insane. Okay, but I want to show you this because it's kind of really cool. It looks like a science experiment. Okay, you got to be careful. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? This is what we do. All right, look at that. So this is all pure chlorophyll matcha. No citric acid added to this, okay? Just want to point that out because there's so many supplements out there that contain citric acid, and that is an aging preservative. So check your labels, citric acid. Do not buy it, especially when you're going to take it every day. Don't put that stuff in your body. And then I have a liquid collagen. So I just put that in here. Boop. All right, so that is my mocktail. And the chlorophyll has no taste. It's neutral. Okay, it doesn't taste like fish food. It's not nasty. This actually tastes really, really good. I know. You're like, that's insane, Erica. But you got the lemon juice. You got the vitamin C. You got the chlorophyll and matcha. And the collagen. So I've got like this little kitchen area here. Everything I have. All right. So bottoms up, we're cheersing to great skin. It tastes like a really good lemonade without the sugar. And we all know sugar is bad for us. So back to the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is high in actually vitamin C, A, E, and K, which helps fight the free radicals that occur when the skin is damaged. So it helps your skin look radiant and supports fine lines and dark spots. So I noticed a huge difference taking this at night. I don't go any night without drinking this. This is like my last rodeo before I go to bed. And it doesn't wake me up at night, believe it or not. I just make sure I only have 1 cup. All right. So cheers. Oh, and I also brought some of my supplements here because I want to give you the whole picture of what I take in case you like my skin. I'm pretty happy with my skin. And I think it's all what we're talking about here, nutrition and lifestyle decisions. I take Dr. Schultz stuff, okay? What does this have? A lot of stuff. And they're just these green pills, okay? It has 119% of vitamin A. It has B complex here. So it's got the vitamin B1, B12, and B3. It's very important when you're taking your B vitamins, not just to take one B vitamin. All right. They have to work in harmony to make things happen. Okay. You've got your vitamin E and vitamin C. That's all in here. Okay. And they look like this if you're watching. Okay. They're just like green pills. Yeah. Okay. So check your labels. Are you taking your vitamin B complex, A, C, and E? We also have an affiliate for Dr. Schultz. That's one of the only affiliates I have here today. I also take turmeric, curcumin. Yes, this is very good for your skin. And I take a lot of turmeric. I put turmeric in my smoothies. You can't even taste it with everything I put in my smoothies. Okay, and then we have, of course, one of my favorite supplements, I've been taking this for a long time, is vitamin C, but we call it Super C. This is also from Dr. Schultz. This has no citric acid in it, okay? And these taste like sour candies. Serving size is about 3 of these, okay? So, yes, it has over 500% of vitamin C, and it's all made from, I could just go on with the list here, but it has acerola cherry, pineapple, raspberry, organic, everything's organic, camu. Believe it or not, habanero pepper has a lot of vitamin C and more. So, okay, we are going to be talking about one of the most important topics, and that is sleep or the lack of sleep. And while we are talking about this last one, we're going to go ahead and do the last part of my skincare routine. And ladies, if you are using patches, give me a hell yes for patches, because This is one of the best things ever invented, okay? And I found these gold patches. These are off Amazon, okay? And there's many different types. So if you want a recommendation, again, I don't have an affiliate for this one. These are awesome, okay? These, I'm putting one on my forehead. Those of you who are listening and not watching. And I'm putting it on pretty poorly. Again, it's tricky when you're looking at the camera here. Things don't go the same way you think. There. Okay. So I've got a patch on my forehead. It looks like, it always reminds me of like a superhero, like I've got a special power. Pew, pew. Right? Okay. And then this is what I need it for. Like for some reason at night, this is where, ladies, I know this is where you're getting it too. And of course, there's other things you can do. There's so many things, right? I know the B word, Botox. I've taken Botox before, but I actually stopped it. It's been a long time. Okay. I stopped it. I decided to just put more into nutrition and doing these kinds of things. If I wasn't doing this whole skincare routine, my nutrition, my skin would be looking pretty saggy right now. All right. So I'm just adding my under eyelids patches. Now I really look like a cool superhero. Okay. It's the skincare over 40 woman superhero. All right. Here we go. So sleep. All right. We all know we need sleep. I've been definitely more aware of trying to get more sleep. It's very tough because there's so many things I want to do at nighttime after a full day, right? Like there's so many responsibilities, but sleep is one of those natural things that we can do that's just medicine for the body. And of course, our largest organ, which is our skin, okay? So how much sleep is good enough, right? Well, they say at least for aging purposes, anything less than 7 is getting to a point where you're starting to jeopardize those anti-aging effects. So I would say 7 or more. I mean, up to, I believe 7 to 9 hours. That's like perfect. If I can get like 7.5, that's usually my thing. But anything less than that is not good for aging purposes. So if you're getting 5 and you're one of those people who are like, I only need 5 hours of sleep, you don't. There's books written on this, and we might do a podcast later, but there's studies that show that when you sleep less than 7 hours, okay, or maybe it's 6.5 hours, 7 hours is good, but 5 hours, totally not good. It's bad for your overall body. It leads to more, you're more prone to injury. They've done things with studies on athletes. The less an athlete sleeps, the more prone they are to injuries. Why? Because your body doesn't have time to heal. Your body needs to, fill up their battery, just like a cell phone. All right. Always think about it that way. So what else about sleep? Okay. What about sleeping positions? Okay. I learned this like 8 years ago because there was one side of my face that was like drooping more. It's not anymore because I do all this stuff. But one of them, I think it was this side, it was just the fine lines on this side was way different from the other. And guess what? It's because I was sleeping on that side. So what are you supposed to do? Don't go to sleep. No, just kidding. Sleep standing up. No, you need to sleep on your back. Okay. And I know that is such an adjustment, and it is one that I have learned to train myself. Okay. You have to retrain yourself because it totally makes a difference. All right. And if you snore when you sleep on your back, I can't help you. Luckily I don't snore, but so sleeping positions do matter. Are you sleeping on your side? Are you just, scrunched up in your pillow? Because the pillows matter too. We talk about how many hours of sleep, your sleeping position, but what you're physically sleeping on makes a difference too. So silk and satin are really good ones, but hey, I found a study, you guys, And this is something that I just learned just from trying to do some research for you for this show. And I'm going to be going to go out and buy these because of this study. All right. So we talked about pillowcases, silk, and satin, but have you ever heard about copper infused pillowcases? What? What is that? Okay. So copper infused pillowcases, that literally means there's copper fibers made within this pillowcase. So what they say is that these copper fibers release copper ions, and some of those copper ions tend to get absorbed by the skin, and then they enter the basal cells that participate in collagen production. What? Okay. So, the benefits of these copper minerals are known to promote the natural growth of proteins in the skin. So soft and silky copper infused threads release those copper ions as you sleep, gently and naturally improving your skin. I mean, hello, let's add this to the list. Because there's also a study done, like I said earlier. So what did they do? Okay, so in this study, it was an 8-week study, and they had about 60 people. So they were healthy volunteers, and they were aged between 30 and 6 years old. So what they did is that they measured these individuals' skin. All right, so they used a 3D image analysis as a base before the treatment, and then following 4 and 8 weeks of sleeping on these pillowcases. So what do you think the results were? Okay, so those that used the copper-infused pillowcases decreased their crow's feet after 4 and 8 weeks. But there was no reduction in wrinkles for the control group. In conclusion, sleeping on copper-infused pillows really reduces the depth of wrinkles and the overall improvement of your skin's appearance. Crazy, right? So put that on your shopping list, put that on your Amazon wish list. I already checked them out on Amazon, and I'm sure there's levels of quality, but I saw some for like $25. So in summary, here are some tips to help reduce those wrinkles. All right. Number 1, working out. Do the aerobics, but definitely add some resistance. If you need some workout classes, you know where to find me. Okay. Go ahead and move to fitandprettylifestyle.com. We'll get you hooked up with some free resistance classes. All right. Number 2, make sure you're getting your sleep, 7 hours or more. Start sleeping on your back and go find those copper infused pillowcases. All right. Number 3, your nutrition, specific foods to avoid, like fried food, and add more skin supporting supplements like chlorophyll, collagen, and vitamin C. And number 4, your hydration. Eat your water. You can also drink your water, but make sure you got those fruits and vegetables in your diet so that you are slowing down that hydration leaving your body. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Make sure, if you can, leave a review or share this with a friend. I would so appreciate it. You guys have a great evening.